Hi guys, Lewted here with another dank stream. Basically, I wanted to talk about Shogun 2 once again. I find it funny that some people have a pretty good skill rating even though they haven't played that many battles. This guy's a rank 1, but his best ladder placement was better than mine. And I haven't lost as many battles. Doesn't even have that much achievements, only has 15. I might do a stream another day about these chats because they're pretty cancerous. Anyway, my win ratio is 51.7%, which is good. I have more wins than losses, obviously. That's what you'd want. You want to be over 50. Like this guy has more losses than wins. Anyway, let's just jump right into what I wanted to talk about today. The best units per class. Now, I wasn't going to actually do this stream, but I thought, hey, why not? What I'm going to center this around is the 3 classes: bow, infantry, sword infantry, and firearms, and then I'll go into the other ones later, because there's just so many units. For sword infantry, I said this during the study week special. Ashigaru are an investment, and so it could be worthwhile to bring Ashigaru and vet them up instead of Samurai, but you have to consider a few things. You can vet Lone Sword Ashigaru with 2 melee attack, which will bring them up to 13 melee attack. You can give them melee defense, or you can give them morale and melee defense, or something else. I prefer charge because these guys don't have the best charge bonus. But then again, this does work in their favor when they're going up against Yari Ashigaru, so you might want to leave that and focus on something else. You can vet them up 4 times and they'd cost 50 talents, 50 koku less than Katana Samurai. You can give these guys 2 attacks which would give them 1 more attack than Katana Samurai. You can give them 1 melee defense, which would give them 5 melee defense, which is 1 more than Katana Samurai. And you can give them 1 charge, which is 1 less than Katana Samurai. However, you can't do that and then give them 5 morale, which would make them on par with Katana Samurai. You can only do 1. You have to use your retainers to get closer to that 10 morale. However, once you vet these guys up more, you definitely can. And then you also have to consider the fact that because they're Ashigaru, they are affected by the Inspiring Orator retainer, which decreases the cost of Ashigaru by 10%. This stacks with Trading Post, which decreases the cost of all units by 4%, so in total you get 14%. And you can bring like a lot of vetted Ashigaru, which is very useful in sieges, especially when you're defending, because you have much less money than the attacking force. So it really depends on which unit, what you really want. Overall, Katana Samurai are still better because they have 3 more armor and 5 more morale. Regardless, because you can't get more, you can only get 1 more armor, and then you can use the armory. I can't remember. I think it's called the store. No, not the storehouse. There is a retainer that gives all melee infantry plus 1 armor. You can use that and give these guys 3 armor, and then you can use a skill point to give them 4 armor. But the skill point would end up making these guys cost 770 talents, so you have to be careful about that. I'd rather use that skill point in melee attack. Give these guys 17 melee attack, but you have to do it twice, obviously. Katana Samurai almost always are going to be better than Nodachi Samurai. Um, just because of the fact that these guys only have one melee defense. You can spend a point in melee attack. If you spend a point in melee attack, they get the same melee attack as Nodachi Samurai. If you spend a point in... You don't even have to spend a point in melee defense. You can just spend a point in charge. And their charge bonus is much less still than Nodachi Samurai. But it's only by 9 instead of by 13. Nodachi Samurai are mostly good on the charge and are good for quick routes. But if your opponent can hold it, then you're out of luck. And these guys are really bad against Ashigaru, as you might have seen in one of my videos. Sword attendants, I'm very iffy about them and veterancy. I mean, I did have a vet, but I deleted it recently because I found them to be quite useless. For 75 men, I don't know. I don't think they'd be useful. You can give them 12 attack. You can give them a better charge bonus instead of giving them melee defense. But then there's the 6 morale, which is just one more than Longsword Ashigaru, but I'm still very iffy about them being vets. So for now, I don't recommend you getting these guys as a vet. If you have one, you can keep it, but I recommend that you delete it because they're not as useful. Bow infantry wise, Bow Ashigaru are an investment, but the price difference between them and Bow Samurai compared to Longsword Ashigaru and Katana Samurai is that they have 50 more koku. So you can spend that 50 koku. You can spend that extra skill point in a basic skill instead of a clan skill. So you can spend it in 6 clan skills. Now let's just go over to the vet bow units. You can use that in 2 reload. If you get 2 reload, then they go up to 45 reloading. You can get 45 accuracy automatically, which is better than Bow Samurai. But then you can also go into fire arrows, which is interesting. Now, it is true though that you don't have to do that. You could also go for ammunition, but I recommend that you go for fire arrows instead, and then just use a retainer that gives you more ammunition. Why? 2 reload, 2 accuracy makes these guys cost 600 talents, 600 koku. Oh boy. When they cost 600 koku, you can go for fire arrows, which would make them cost 670 koku. That's still 30 koku less than Bow Samurai, so it's still good. It's a very good investment in my opinion. Still, they do the same damage anyway, but I don't recommend going straight to increased range just yet, and you can't if you don't have a bow specialism clan anyway. What else? Yeah, so they are definitely a good investment. Compare this to the cost of Bow Samurai compared to Deku Samurai and Bow Warrior Monks. The difference is 400 koku. So what does this mean? Well, let's just take a quick look at Bow Warrior Monks because not everyone has Deku Samurai. These guys have sorry, let me just delete the retainers because it's actually 55 accuracy, 55 reloading and 60 accuracy, which is still pretty good. So basically, you get for 1,100 koku, you get a unit that has 55 reloading and 60 accuracy, along with 30 ammunition. Like I said, the difference is 400 koku. So I haven't vetted these guys up yet, but I will soon. What you can do with this unit of Bow Samurai is get 2 reloading, 2 accuracy, so that makes them cost 900 talents. You can get extra ammunition, which would give them, I think it gives them 10 ammunition. So that's automatically more than you need. I wouldn't recommend this just yet. You could use the retainer again to get that +5 ammunition, which would make it similar to bow warrior monks. 2 reloading speed would give these guys 60 reloading. 2 accuracy would give them 60 accuracy. So that makes them on par with bow warrior monks, and they have more armor and better melee stats. They have 5 more reloading than bow warrior monks. They have more men than bow warrior monks, and you still have 200 koku to play around with. So you can even increase the reloading even further, or you can use it on reloading and increased range. Now this does cost 20 clan tokens, and it would increase their cost to 1070 koku. More or less, anyway. But yeah, it's pretty good. So what this would do is, this would give them 65 reloading. They'd have 60 accuracy, and they'd have 175 range, which would make them able to, this would allow them to go toe to toe with bow warrior monks and win, basically. With my Deku Samurai, I increased the reloading to 60, accuracy to 65. I have not increased the range yet, because I'm still very iffy about it. I'm going to get reloading again, accuracy, and then increased range, and then accuracy. Bow warrior monks are still good, and they still have a purpose, but if you can get a bow samurai unit, this unit is not affected by Way of the Ikuiki. So if you have Way of the Ikuiki, this unit does get affected, and it gives them +2 melee defense, but it also increases their cost by +5%. And they're already expensive, so why would you want to do that, you know? However, this unit is affected by, if you get it vetted, it's affected by the retainer that increases your veterans by 10%, but gives your warrior monks and nuns +1 morale. It's something you have to take into consideration, because it also affects bow warrior monks. So, yeah. Next, firearm units. I used to have Matchlock Ashigaru as veterans. I don't recommend it, even though they do have more firepower. This is just because it takes a long time to get them to the status of Matchlock Samurai, and if you use clan tokens, it's not worth it. Why I say this? I deleted my Matchlock Ashigaru vets, so I can get more Matchlock Samurai vets. They have the same unit skill upgrades. If you get 2 reload speed with Ashigaru, that makes them on par with the Matchlock Samurai, but they still have 20 less accuracy. Or is it 30? Let me just check. No, it's 20 less accuracy. So you can increase their reloading by 10. That's 2 skill points. But they still have 20 less accuracy. They also don't have the same morale. They have half the morale. 3 times less the melee attack. Half the melee defense. The charge doesn't matter. But they only have 1 armor, similar to Bow Ashigaru, so you have to take that into consideration as well. Now, Matchlock Warrior Monks cost 100 more koku than Matchlock Samurai, but here's the thing, you can only bring 1. Whereas with these guys you can bring 2, and with these guys you can bring 3. It really depends on how much firepower you need. I never would really recommend Matchlock Ashigaru, but if you really need the firepower, you can bring them. Here's the interesting thing. If you vet your Matchlock Samurai by 2, and you put the skill points in the same area that you'd put in a Ashigaru, which is reloading, you'd end up having the same reloading, but again, you'd be down by only 10 accuracy. However, Matchlock Samurai have 2 more armor than Warrior Monks. But Warrior Monks have increased range, which is interesting. Well, not interesting, it's a good ability. It's very helpful. They have the same ammunition. Warrior Monks the Matchlock Warrior Monks have less melee attack, same melee defense, but 4 more morale. Again, you can only bring one, so I recommend that you vet the Warrior Monks and the Matchlock Samurai, unless you need firepower. If you need firepower, then yeah, go with the Ashigaru, but just bear in mind that you have to upgrade their reloading and accuracy by a lot, and even then, like, you can upgrade their reloading by 2 and then upgrade their accuracy by 1 and still wouldn't be close enough to Matchlock Samurai. But they do have they have 25% more men. So it's up to you. So to summarize, the most cost-effective sword infantry overall are going to be Lone Sword Ashigaru, but it really depends on how you use them. If you have retainers, you can boost, like if you're like level 7, for example, you can boost their morale by 4. 1 because they're a vet, 1 because they are an Ashigaru unit, 1 with the Way of the Ikuiki, and then 1 with Renyo's teachings. Yeah. So you can boost it up by 4. However, you do lose 1 melee attack with Renyo's teachings, but you do gain 5 melee defense, so it would be worthwhile to invest in melee attack instead of melee defense, in my opinion, and then morale and charge, because you can just use your retainers elsewhere. But it's up to you. That's if it depends on your gameplay style. With Renyo's teachings, it does affect your skirmishing units, so you have to be careful with it. With bow units, bow Ashigaru are definitely much more cost effective than bow samurai. But then bow samurai are much more cost effective than bow warrior monks, if you can get them up to that level. Foot samurai are cost effective in some instances. They have half the unit of bow samurai, but they can be useful because they have 6 armor, 9 melee attack, 4 melee defense, and you have the retainer that gives them +5 accuracy and reload, but you do lose the melee attack. You do lose 2 melee attack and 2 melee defense. It's a trade-off. You technically should not be focusing on the melee stats of this unit because they only have 45 men. If this were a Rise of the Samurai campaign, I can see why, but definitely not for multiplayer. With those retainers with these guys I have Whistling Shot on both of them. It makes them less useful, but they're still good units. Like, they have 70 reloading, which is why I don't use Renyo's teachings whenever I bring them. Still a pretty good unit to bring. 70 reloading, 50 accuracy, you can't go wrong with that. Whistling Arrows, good for starting off an engagement. Chain routes, I can see that happening. I probably wouldn't bring them in sieges yet because they don't have the 175 range. I'd rather stick to Deikyu Samurai. The bow hero I never bring, but they are good, obviously. So invest in Ashigaru, bring bow samurai if you can get them up to vet 7. No, vet 6. If you can bring them up to vet 6, then they're good. As for firearm units, Matchlock Ashigaru can never get up to the Matchlock Samurai status. Matchlock Samurai can't get up to the Warrior Monk status, except if you invest into their reloading twice and their accuracy twice. In which case, they'd cost 800 koku instead of 700. However, that's where retainers come in. You could use a point in reloading and a point in accuracy, and if you have the Western style armor set, you can increase their reloading by 5. And then, since you have Matchlock units, you can use the European, I can't remember what it's called, but you can use the retainer that gives Matchlock +5, European Gunsmith. You can use this retainer to give them +5 accuracy. Excuse me. Famous armory. Yeah. And so yeah, like you can use these units, use these retainers to help those Matchlock Samurai become warrior monks without the increased range. You still have the armor though. When it comes to Portuguese Tercos, like bow warrior monks have an easy time matching up to them because like basically these guys have 65 accuracy, so it's 5 more accuracy and 35 reloading. What makes them cost much more is the fact that they have good melee stats and good armor. I don't think Portuguese Tercos do more damage than the other Matchlocks though, so that's interesting. Definitely, you can go past them with bow warrior monk, Matchlock warrior monks, but you know it's up to you. I definitely would bring these guys. I've brought them in many battles where they've been cost effective. They're mostly cost effective against the Ashigaru. I wouldn't put them up against Katana Samurai because they have 2 defense, but definitely like Yari's Ashigaru, you can leave them alone and they'd probably win. You just have to be careful of Yari Wall if they get too close, obviously. But yeah, overall, I definitely recommend using vetting these guys. Vet Matchlock Samurai and Warrior Monks over Ashigaru. The Ashigaru only have more firepower, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't work. Now for spear units. For spear units, it's kind of tricky. Yari and Ashigaru, no matter what, are going to be the most cost effective in the group. With 4 attack, 3 defense, they look underwhelming. They do have a bonus of versus cav of 20, which is obviously very good, but these guys can rout quickly, and so you have to be careful when you're using them against cavalry, because if cavalry hit them in the rear and they're losing, they'll rout in most cases. If you're using retainers, which I'll go into in a minute, then yeah, they'll stand their ground. Yari Ashigaru, cost-wise, will almost always be more cost-effective than Yari Samurai. They cost about 280 koku less, but they don't have the same like charge bonus. Melee-wise, you can vet these guys to like 2 melee defense, and they're like already past Yari Samurai. It gives them 9 melee defense if I'm correct, and then if you boost their melee attack by 1, it gives them 6 melee attack. But then that's where morale comes in, because you don't use these guys as like offensively, like when you're charging. You use them more defensively. Yari Samurai are better flanking units, and that's why I like them more on the flanks. Anyway, Yari Ashigaru are definitely more cost effective than Yari Samurai with veterancy. These guys vet very quickly, which is good, and I like that. They vet the fastest, I said this before. Warrior Nuns vet very slow. They're the 3rd slowest unit when it comes to vetting. The slowest is the Great Guard. Why is beyond me. Warrior Nuns came with the Ikawiki patch, with the Ikawiki DLC, I think. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. But it doesn't matter. Warrior Nuns are good. They don't vet fast though, so you have to be careful with that. Yari Samurai, it's a tough one. Yari Samurai definitely vet better than Naginata Samurai. They don't need to vet melee defense. They do need to vet melee attack twice, so they get 10 melee attack, and that's better than Naginata Samurai. The purpose of Naginata Samurai is to like be a vanguard and then be a backbone when the fight begins, similar to Naginata Warrior Monks. With Yari Samurai, it's more of a flanking role, anti-cavalry purposes, and so on. So you can vet these guys like with 2 melee attack and 1 melee defense, and all of a sudden you have a unit with 10 attack and 11 defense, compared to the Naginata Samurai with 9 attack and 6 defense. They have the same morale, so that's not a problem. These guys have a better bonus versus cavalry. They have a 3 more charge, which is interesting, but they have 4 less armor. And I think that's why the Naginata Samurai are slightly better in some instances, because these guys can get hurt pretty hard by matchlocks, whereas these guys can survive a bit better. But by like warrior monks will definitely hurt them a lot. These guys are resilient to bow units, so bow units can waste their ammo on this unit. When it comes to warrior monks, it's a tough one. You can vet their Naginata Samurai's melee defense by 1, and then that would give them 9 defense. You can vet their attack by 1, and that would give them 11 attack. That makes them better, but it doesn't give them the same morale. They have the same charge bonus because it's the same weapon. They have a bonus versus cavalry of 10. They have 2 armor, which is 7 less than Naginata Samurai. But these guys have 12 morale. You know, you can't boost the morale and melee attack and melee defense and expect it to be 800 koku. Therefore, Yari Ashigaru are the most cost effective in the group, followed by Yari Samurai, Naginata Warrior Monks, and Naginata Samurai. Naginata Samurai still have a purpose, which is why I kept the vets I have. But the problem with Naginata Samurai is that when a battle begins, these guys underperform most of the time against infantry. They're still good against cavalry, like for holding them, while Yari Samurai like massacre them. And I'd argue that they do better than the Naginata Warrior Monks. They have 3 more attack against cavalry than Naginata Warrior Monks. But at the same time, because of their armor, it just impedes them so much. Vet-wise, anyway. They're still good, and I still recommend that you bring them over Warrior Monks in some instances, but they vet the second worst. Like, Naginata Attendants vet pretty good as well, but I don't recommend you bring them as vets, because they don't, like, compared to Yari Ashigaru, they don't vet that well. So Yari Ashigaru, Yari Samurai, Naginata Warrior Monks, Naginata Samurai, in that order. Forget Warrior Nuns, they don't vet very good. And they'll never really... Like, statistically speaking, yeah, they're definitely better than Naginata Samurai. But 75 women in a unit is very underwhelming. And I've used these guys before. I had them as vets. They underperform so much. I'd rather bring a unit of warrior monks because warrior monks are affected by most monk retainers, whereas warrior nuns aren't. They're affected by some. They're not affected by relentless, as I said before. Neither are Naginata warrior monk cavalry. The only units that are affected by relentless are warrior monks, bow warrior monks, and Matchlock warrior monks. When it comes to cavalry, cavalry is a hard one. Because on one hand, I'm tempted to say light cavalry are very cost effective, but they're not. This is why. Light cavalry are good for spotting, but they don't vet that well. They can boost their melee attack twice, I think. I deleted my vet recently, so I can't remember. I might have to get another one, just to check. I think they can vet their melee attack twice, and their melee defense twice. I think Yari Cavalry have the same vets. Melee defense, melee attack, yeah. But I can't remember if they can vet fatigue more than twice, like Naginata Warrior Monks, and not have it as a clan skill upgrade. Probably doesn't matter, I don't know. But They can definitely vet their melee attack twice. I remember that much. And so it can go up to 10, and then their melee defense can go up to 5. 10 and 5. That's obviously better than Yari Cav. The problem is the charge bonus. I mean, not really so much a charge bonus, but definitely the armor becomes a problem. They have 2 less armor. The charge bonus is fairly similar. The bonus versus cavalry is cut in half. The only problem I have with this unit is the unit's strength, or the unit size. With 45 men, they can't kill as many units as a Yari cavalry unit can, unless you actually get them up to that level. And you can't, because the most skill points you can use on this unit is 9, obviously. So the highest you can get these guys up to without using clan skill upgrades is 850, which is similar to Naginata Warrior Monk Cav. If you can get this unit up to that level, maybe they would be cost effective. But that's a doozy because these guys have 7 less morale than Naginata Warrior Monk Cav. I think you can get their melee attack up to 16. You can upgrade their bonus versus cavalry, but you don't have to. Their melee defense can go up to 9. So, yeah, 16 attack, 9 defense. That's obviously better than a Warrior Monk Cav. You still have to deal with the unit strength. The charge bonus is pretty solid. You can upgrade your charge, obviously. And these guys do have better spotting ability than the other cavalry do. Still, I'm very skeptical about getting them up to that strength, because if you use clan skill upgrades, which you have to if you want to get them better than Warrior Monk Cav, they'll definitely will cost more than Warrior Monk Cav. They will lose to Yari Cavalry because of their strength. They will win against Bow Cavalry, even without upgrades, obviously. Yeah, I don't recommend it. I don't even recommend mounted Naginata units. These 3 units don't vet, in my opinion. It's just not worth it. As for the remaining 4 units, all you have to do is vet these guys once, and they're good. Against Yari Cavalry, they'll lose. Yari Cav will have 20 attack against them. These guys will have 19 attack against them. The defense, however, is very important because that's especially it's good for prolonged fights. These guys would win in a prolonged fight if these guys don't get a good charge off. The 2 armor, though, on these Naginata Warrior Monk Cav is very dangerous because they do lose a lot of men to bows. I've seen it happen a lot of times. These guys overall do vet better than Yari Cav because you can have access to Warcry. But that's just me. Katana Cavalry vet well. When you're going up against a general that has no penalty against spears, these guys are the second most dangerous unit. The first being a vetted Warrior Monk Cav that has Warcry. But then again, Warcry isn't that useful against a melee general, unless it's outnumbered and it can't run, and it's trying to run away, in which case the Warcry would reduce the speed. Katana Cavalry can get 24 attack and cost the same as a unit of Yari Cav. Yari Cav would have 20 attack against these guys, Katana Cav would have 24 attack against them and other units. They'd keep the same melee defense, but it's the charge bonus that worries me. If Yari Cav charge into Katana Cav, then they'll definitely win. In a prolonged fight, if the Yari Cav do not have a charge, Katana Cavalry will win. That's true. You can vet these guys melee defense twice again, and that would give them... They'd cost 1,000 koku. That would give them 10 melee defense and 24 attack. I did do that with my vetted Katana unit. Katana Cav unit. As for Yari Cav compared to the Great Guard, where do I begin with this one? You can vet these guys up 2 charge, and that would give them 35 charge. You can vet their melee attack up twice, and that would give them 11 melee attack. You can vet their melee defense up twice as well, and that would give them the same melee defense of 5. That would make them cost 1,200. So 11 attack. They would still have to get 2 more attack to actually surpass the Great Guard. But I just recommend using 1 because by this point it's obvious that you cost more than the Great Guard. If you use the previous skill points and another melee attack from the clan skill upgrade list, these guys would cost 1,270 koku. Although it's just 1 melee attack less, they have the same bonus versus cavalry, but they have 3 less armor and 5 less morale. It's still a good trade-off, in my opinion. Like, the Great Guard would survive a little bit better against missiles, and the Great Guard is extremely dangerous for frontal charges if you don't have the units to stop that. But yeah, definitely Yari Cav can vet really good and become very close to a Great Guard unit if you use them right. 2 charge, 2 melee attack, 2 melee defense, and an extra melee attack from the clan skill upgrade list is what you need to get them as close as you can to a Great Guard unit. That's pretty much it for unit upgrades. Again, these are my opinions. I just have I've used these units a lot. I've had a lot of victories and a lot of defeats using multiple units. And I just hope that you guys learned something from this. Because I definitely learned a lot from losing a lot of battles. Now the 31st was Halloween, and I did stream on Halloween. Yeah, this was my last battle. Because I lost that, and then I saved it for future reference. So I won a bunch of battles after yesterday's stream. I also lost another battle recently. It was kind of my fault. I did flop, but he was pretty aggressive, and I couldn't micro as many units as I could because I got bottlenecked. Again, it was my fault, but I did win a bunch of battles after that, so I feel better. In this battle, I was using Boa Ashigaru, trying to get them vetted up more than they were already. I was going up against the Fall of the Samurai army, so I brought Bulletproof Samurai. I was using Relentless, and I wanted to talk about Relentless. Relentless turns Naginata Warrior Monks from a backbone unit or a rearguard unit to a flanking unit like Yari Samurai, without the use of rapid advance. Which is good. I use this to flank with the warrior monks, using my Yari Samurai as frontal units and following up with Lone Sword Ashigaru. I used this unit of Yari Samurai to get this point over here, the workshop. Thought it would help me. He starts to move his units over here, probably because he's noticed the shot blockers in the middle. He brings up his general. He starts to fire on my Boa Ashigaru. Gets 5 kills, 6 kills now. He's lost a few men. I got a few kills on his general. But there is his mistake. He advanced so much that his flank is actually where my center is. And this is a miss micro. Because all I have to do is use my warrior monks over here. Use the rest of my infantry in the center over here, and I've already won. And that's exactly what I did. See, I used my Lone Sword Ashigaru I think I used them first, and then my Yari Samurai. My bulletproof defectors protected themselves against the bow units. I used my Lone Sword Ashigaru against the Spear Levy. The Shogun infantry, I don't think they were trying to charge, I think they were trying to go through, and that didn't work. He activated suppression fire on this unit for whatever reason. I think that was a missed micro. He was trying to line up his units so that they could fire at me, but kind of backfired. Whoops. Anyway. This unit was actually supposed to go to this unit, but for whatever reason didn't. This unit of bulletproof samurai set up over here to protect my warrior monks from fire. I come up here. He does get some shots off, but I can flank the unit now, which is what I did. I use my bulletproof samurai into the units over here. You see that Florida 3 has 12 attacks, which I thought was amazing. So yeah, I got into the rear of this unit, which was really good. I missed microed my units over here because I was paying attention over here. These units routed very quickly, quicker than I actually expected. And then I sent my units in afterwards. I don't even know if I used Warcry or not. Yeah, I did. So these guys routed, his center routed. All I had to do was just get his general. The Spear Levy broke pretty quickly. And yeah, he lost too many units. My unit of Katana Cav just came into the rear to get rid of the general, and they did that pretty quickly. Naginata warrior monks can be extremely good flanking units if you use them right. And that's what I like about them. They're good. They're good units. I won't lie. It's what makes them special. Like, Naginata Samurai can't do what they can do with retainers. The most they can do is protect from bow units, but so can Bulletproof Samurai to a certain extent. In this battle, I was using a unit of Matchlock warrior monks, which unfortunately I didn't get vetted. I had Bow Ashigaru as well, because I'm trying out new tactics. This tactic doesn't work all the time. It's more of a defensive tactic, but I'm still trying to implement some offensive capabilities or units. And so yeah, I'm going to fast forward it because it took a while for me to set up. And forgive me if you hear my stomach growling, I'm pretty hungry. But I thought to myself, I better stream first and then go get something to eat later. So we set up over here. My unit of warrior monks actually gets some shots off on this unit of Yari Ashigaru, which he shouldn't have let me do in the first place. He has a unit of fire rockets, which I've seen a lot recently. I did go up a bit, and then I increased range. I lost 9 men in that volley. Well, in this volley I got 23 units. I killed 23 units. Matchlocks have a considerably long reload time. They do like 6 more damage than bow units do, which is why they can get a lot more kills quickly. Like, bow units do less than 1 damage, which is why most of the times bow units don't kill a unit that quickly. But then accuracy does come into effect. Armor comes into effect. Armor dividers come into effect as well. bow units will always get better than Matchlock units. Always, no matter what. And I say this because the basic clan, the no, the basic skills when it comes to reloading and accuracy boosts bow units by 10 instead of 5. It's the elite ones or the clan skill ones that boost you by 5. But it's the same thing with the Matchlock units. No matter what, it's going to be by 5. If it's a basic skill, it's going to be 5. If it's a clan skill, it's going to be 5. And that's what I like about this game. Because Matchlocks don't define Shogun 2. Matchlocks are very good for doing a lot of damage, but the superior skirmishing unit is always going to be the bow unit because they can fire no matter what. Whereas, well, actually, their line of sight can be blocked as well. But these guys can only fire if they have a clear shot. This forest kind of provided some cover, which I liked. I had to advance a bit more so I can actually fire on them. I moved this unit of Matchlock Samurai over here so I could fire on these units of Ashigaru, and probably bring out this unit of Matchlock Ashigaru to obviously test my theory. He aimed for my unit of Ashigaru. This unit went hidden, so I didn't bring them out. My bow Ashigaru were firing into his, I don't even know if he was, no he wasn't. I thought he had Yari Wall on. I don't know, I think the bow Ashigaru did much better, but they only had 20 reload, so it was problematic to begin with. I was still firing at this unit of Ashigaru. He didn't really do anything with it, which was fine. This unit of Ashigaru took a lot of damage. I kept this unit of Ashigaru here just in case he tried to retaliate. He didn't, which is interesting. See, this is the beauty of armour with Matchlock units. Unlike warrior monks, like these guys would have been decimated had they been warrior monks. Like my warrior monks took a lot of damage, not from the fire rockets, but just from the arrows. Now by this point I was able to catch all of his units off guard. I actually went into this unit by accident, but I just decided to continue with it. I made a mass attack over here, which sent his skirmishing units into full retreat. I didn't pay attention to this over here, or else I would have protected my units a bit better.
Shameful display!
I went right into Yari Wall to stop them from going any farther. Got a lot of kills on them. And then, of course, I had a big fight over here where I'm routing a bunch of units, and it was just game over by that point. No, I didn't actually want to show you guys this. It was basically a siege battle. I got another one where I won as the attacker, so I have 6 wins as the attacker. I need 4 more to get the Tokugawa Ieyasu armor set. And then I'm going to change my armor to the Tokugawa Ieyasu armor. I won't change my mon though. It will stay the same. I won't show you guys this because it actually did take about 20 minutes. I'll go into the next one. This battle I fought against a guy that recently came back to Shogun 2, like myself. He said that he was away from Shogun 2 for a long time, so he just came back. So basically, my strategy was very basic. Just run up to this hill, stop him from doing the same, and then hopefully win.
Hidden units, my lord! Treacherously meant to ambush us!
Over here, he has me with Kisho Ninja, and I was able to stop it from actually throwing the bombs. I ended up killing 9 of my warrior mounts, which sucked, but this was my least experienced unit. I used Relentless again, and I was also using Yamabushi Guide. I put my bow Ashigaru up on this hill, but I didn't make them go past it because I knew they'd get fired on. His units were getting tired as well. All I had to do was like just get this unit of warrior monks up to the hill, route this unit of Kisho Ninja. I used my Yari Samurai to get into these units. These 3 units got caught. Actually, this unit didn't, but I was able to get it afterwards. Over here, I kind of mismicroed my units. I should have charged, but I didn't charge earlier because I was trying to micro on the other side. We got like 19 kills on the first volley, which was dangerous. But then these guys make them play back. Over here, yeah, I'm obviously winning. Here, he's not doing that much. I was able to get into his cavalry with my katana cav. And I was using my general to finish them off. 27 attack against these guys is pretty obvious who's going to win. I did a frontal charge right into these units.
In grave danger, my lord!
13 kills initially. They're eager, definitely. Use war cry on these units to get these units routed. They're routed. I'm able to get into the rear. Firing into these units. Just a chain route by this point. I don't think I got the general, but I did route him. And yeah, all of his units started to route because they're going to get him in the rear. This unit routes. The cavalry routed, which is the beauty of katana cav. They can be more cost effective than Yari cav, but you have to give them time.
A glorious victory will soon be yours.
They don't have the charge bonus though, so you have to be careful. So yeah, I won that pretty convincingly. A nice battle in my opinion. But these battles go by very quickly, so you just add another battle, and another battle. This battle was against a Shogun 2 army. I haven't been using my father's samurai avatar lately, which is sad. Like, I haven't even got that one to level 10, and I have Blade Master on it. So I'm planning to get back on it sooner than later, definitely. I'm also gonna reset my tree so that it's all Bushido, and then just focus on traditional armies. I might still use like I might still use modern units, like and have modern armies, but most of my armies will be traditional. Because too many people use modern armies. And I love Fall of the Samurai. But you can't always use the same tactics that you use in Napoleon and Shogun 2. Because what happens is, there's no square, obviously. And that's one of the biggest problems I have with Shogun 2. Because there's no squares, there's no bayonets, you tend to suffer. Over here, I noticed that he was trying to flank. I was pulling my bow units away from here so I can start shooting at his Yari Ashigaru. But I also needed a unit of Yari Ashigaru of my own to protect them. This unit of Katana Samurai was way behind. I had a unit of Mounted Naginata right here, which ended up getting spotted before I could use it.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
Yeah, I got a lot of kills, but he outnumbered me. He charged into this one unit, and that'll actually allow me to go right into this unit of light cavalry and stop it. Because my bow and Ashigaru were actually getting him in the rear. I had to use my long sword Ashigaru to stop these guys from pushing through, but they didn't anyway. So then I just chain routed them and the long sword Ashigaru got exposed. My mounted Naginata stood for as long as we could.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display!
I make it worse. He just runs right into my Yari left with all of his units. And that allowed me to win
My
very
lord!
quickly.
A glorious victory will soon be yours!
Then my vet Ashigaru just went after the Katana Samurai. And that's pretty much it. Don't run into a Yari wall with cavalry. It never works. The Hokurio Ruku Crossing is a very interesting map, to say the least. I don't like it that much because of the bridge. But yeah, I used Bulletproof Samurai because this was a Fall of the Samurai army. But my Bow Samurai did really well in this battle. I actually have to give them credit where it's due. Because without them, I probably would have lost to his Tosa Rifleman. The problem with fighting Shogun 2 armies is that you need all the firepower you can get, and sharpshooters and Tosa Riflemen can't give that to you. Neither can Yugi Kitai. But Yugi Kitai are good, so you have to wonder whether or not you want to use them. In this battle, my opponent was using Yariki. One of them was a vet though. This one was. Vet 4. And then his infantry were not vets, except this unit. Over here I'm capping this point, and then I noticed that he has two other units of cav. I was able to actually cap the point. My Bow Samurai came right up to range of his Tosa Rifleman, which was good. I thought his cav were going to try to engage with my Katana cav, but they did not, and I was fine with that. My bow samurai just held the line right up until when I had to fire. So I started fighting. Over here I was able to catch one of his units. That one wasn't vetted, this one was. Now I made a mistake here. I put my warrior monks in front and I realized the mistake. And so I was supposed to charge with the katana cavalry first, who have more armor. Luckily there was a hill right here, so I was able to protect them. I was still firing on his units over here with my bow samurai. Again, my bow samurai did wonders in this battle. And then they started stuttering, which they do when they take too much damage.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord!
I think one in charge. And so over here, he tried to get into my general. I was able to protect them with my Yari Samurai. Completely massacre his cavalry as well. My bow samurai, like I said, were very cost effective. I was able to get into his Toso riflemen, which stopped them. My bulletproof samurai were coming across the river. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I was able to get all of his units. A lot of his units were taken down with my bow samurai, so I was very happy about that. Then my katana samurai did a really good job at cleaning up the enemy units.
Our men are running from the battlefield!
And so I just retreated at this point
Shameful
because I knew
display.
I'd won. And I just used my bow samurai to defeat this unit of line infantry. Well, I used this unit of line infantry. It's a bulletproof samurai unit. I was able to intercept this unit over here, but I was able to get into his Toso riflemen, which is what I wanted, to make sure that they didn't try to fire into my cavalry in the first place. He was able to get into my rear, but by this point it didn't really matter because we've won. Yeah, that was pretty much a good game.
My lord! A glorious victory will soon be yours!
The bow samurai got 80 kills, this one got 74. Again, they did a really good job. It's one of the reasons why I've started to bring warrior monks more now that I'm fighting more for the samurai armies. I also bring Yari Samurai a bit more because they're good at flanking. But you do have to be careful when you're going up against guard infantry because guard infantry will beat your Yari Samurai with ease. Katana Samurai can beat guard infantry, but then again, they do have good melee attack, so there's that. This map was pretty uneven, but it was a good battle. I actually messed up halfway through, but I still won. So over here, he tries to go for this unit of Yari pack. I countered with my own pack. I should have went into this unit instead, because I ended up getting sandwiched. But I was able to protect them from a decisive charge.
Our general
But
is
then
in
when he started to
grave
pull
danger,
through,
my
that's
lord.
when I started to lose momentum. And I hate that tactic because cavalry are affected by mass in Shogun 2, but they didn't fix, like, they fixed it in Rome 2, but what happened was these units who were losing initially against this unit of Yari cavalry started winning because they were pulling through it. And that's one of the most broken things in Shogun 2. I was able to get a charge over here with this unit of Yari cavalry, so I wasn't too upset. Now, he wasn't microing his units over here. He had more melee units than me, I think. But I was able to just focus on these Yari Samurai, who are probably the most dangerous in this army, since I could beat him in a sword fight with ease. I made a mistake here, like I said. I was supposed to pull these lone sword Ashigaru back and then go into Yari wall, but I didn't. Instead, I pulled them up, but I didn't put them in the
Our
wall.
hidden units have been discovered, my
I got a
lord.
lot of kills with this unit of Portuguese Tercos. I did it. Anyway, so I was able to rout these units. His Yari Samurai kind of advanced sloppily. I was able to go on this hill, so I give myself an advantage when fighting them. And so I allow my lone sword Ashigaru to beat this unit of Nodachi Samurai and Yari Samurai. Now my veteran Katana cavalry unit did so well because they had 29 attack. And it just helped so much because I probably would have lost because they started to rout, but then were winning still. And then he started to retreat, and it kind of hurt his general a bit.
My lord,
And then I got
the
his
general has fallen. A cutting blow.
I was able to push these Yari Samurai back while my Portuguese Tercos were doing well. I did some pike and shot tactics, but then they came out again, so I couldn't do it. And yeah, by that point, he knew it was over. I knew it was over, and he called quits. Now I have 2 more battles. Both of these I got like 3 hours before I started streaming. The purpose of Matchlocks is to reduce the morale from a unit. They're good in that. Yeah, that's true. They're good at reducing the morale of units. I've noticed that myself. In the database it says that they reduce it by -1. I forgot to mention that. Thank you. Matchlocks reduce the morale of units by 1, which is why they're so good at what they do. I also agree with your point slightly. Shogun 2 and Fall of the Samurai armies are not similar, but the thing is that Shogun 2 melee units have a huge advantage over Fall of the Samurai melee units, with the exception of Yari and Katana Samurai, as well as actually Yari and Katana Kachi and Bokachi. Those units are overall better than the Shogun 2 equivalents. But then you have Warrior Monks, then you have Yari Cav, which have a better charge, then you have Katana Cav that have more armor, then you have a general that can have no penalty against spears, which is pretty good in my opinion. But then with Fall of the Samurai you have Bushido, which benefits all traditional units. If you go with the Bushido chain, you can benefit all of your units, whereas you can't do that with Shogun 2. Like, the only thing you can benefit that benefits all the units is the morale, the fatigue, and that's it. Morale and fatigue. You cannot increase the speed of your units like you can in Fall of the Samurai. You cannot increase their killing power unless you use the last Not last stand. Stand and fight. Yeah. I think it's pretty unfair. Sorry about that. I think in that retrospect it's unfair, but still, Fall of the Samurai armies, like this one was a Fall of the Samurai armies, do have a lot of drawbacks to it. Traditional armies like this one are still pretty good. Like I said, the Katana Kachi are statistically better than Katana Samurai. They also have more men, but they don't have the same armor, the same morale. They do have the same armor, but Yari Kachi don't have the same. Yari Kachi, I think, have one more armor. That's why Fall of the Samurai traditional armies have a slight advantage in that aspect, but they don't have warrior monks. Now look at what happens here. My Katana Samurai have 14 morale because I captured the shrine over here. He has 8 morale. So I was able to get to the rear of this unit of Katana Kachi and rout them, which I did with ease. I should have done it over here though and routed this unit, because now I'm going to go into their flank, and that's not good enough. But I was able to route one, so I was happy with that. I moved my units over here, but I should have, yeah, I was hitting their flank, which wasn't good enough. I was able to get these units over here. And then I went for the general. Used Banzai on my general to get his general.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord!
So one unit routed. The other unit's not going to rout. It's going to beat my unit. Mainly because they took fire from those line infantry. I was hitting the rear of these Yari Kachi. Wasn't good enough to rout them, unfortunately, so I had to use a unit of Yari Samurai.
My lord, their general has fallen! A cutting blow!
And then I got his general. I have one more replay and that's it. I'm probably going to try to do a few battles, but I won't stream for too long. Now, I'm still investing in Ashigaru. In Fall of the Samurai, I'm investing in Katana Kachi, but I'm still very skeptical about deleting my Black Bear and White Bear vets because I still see some use in them, but they're not as useful as I thought they used to be. This battle was against a guy that had Diamond Prestige, which is Prestige 6, I think. Like, he's a good player. He has a bunch of vets, but he only brought 2 in this battle, which makes sense. Like, Red Bears do vet the best, in my opinion. But it's still a good idea to bring like Imperial or Shogunate Guard Infantry. Imperial Guard Infantry if you're in an Imperial clan, Shogunate Guard Infantry otherwise. Shogunate Infantry costs 60 talents less, but you can't get the same clan skill bonuses that you can get, the same level 9 clan skill bonuses that you can get with the Imperial Guard Infantry. I'd prefer a Shogunate clan than an Imperial one because I'm not that much into modern bonuses, but like some Shogunate bonuses, like the speed bonus, is very useful. Still, Carbine Cav are more of an Imperial unit. Anyway, let's just get to talk about the battle. I'll talk about that later, hopefully. He brings his general up. He's bringing his general up to capture the ground. He could have easily like not done that, or he could have used his Yari key ahead of time, he sets his red bears up to block them. Now, for some reason, my Yari Cav glitched into his red bears. I went past this unit. I was trying to go for his general, but I ended up getting stuck on that too. So I saw an opportunity to use my Katana Cav, and I brought my Katana Cav up because I've done this in the past. I've had it in the forest to hide it, but then I don't use it at all. And that's kind of why I've been winning and losing battles. Or mostly losing them. So I brought it up. I saw an opportunity to charge into this unit of red bears. I did that because I could follow up into this unit of red bears. But most importantly, it would mean these guys would have to fire on my Katana Cavalry instead of my Katana Samurai, who can't handle that much fire. He was still able to get a lot of shots in because I had to go into this unit. And this unit was able to fire because of shot blockers. I was able to go into this unit of red bears, but both of my units got stuck for some reason. I was going for the general, but then it got stuck into this unit. My vanilla Katana Samurai got shot at a lot. This unit was fine.
Our general is in grave danger, my
He
lord!
was trying to go for my bow units. I didn't let him. I made a mistake right here. I was supposed to go into his general. I didn't. This unit, like I said, got stuck. My warrior monks were able to follow up. I routed this side. All I had to do was just follow up over here with my warrior monks. And that's exactly what I did. Used war cry because I was starting to win. Used war cry here first because they got too close. Okay, Katana Samurai were able to come back into the fight. My Yari Samurai routed, unfortunately. But that's fine. I mean, I was still able to do what I wanted to. His Yari Ki had to come out from under it. This unit routed, unfortunately. But it did a really good job, so I was happy about that. I was able to get into his general. And I used war cry on them to rout them as quickly as I could. I routed them. He was trying to bring his Yari Cav over here. They got stuck in my warrior monks. And by this point it was pretty obvious that he had lost. And so that was it. Good game on both sides. He lost because he bunched up his units and because he was trying to take ground that he didn't have to take. Had he had an artillery piece, he would have had to have forced me to come to him. And that could have been very disastrous for me because it's a pretty open battlefield. Still, a close victory is a good enough victory. I'll take it with me. Now let's go into the battles because I'm happy to stream some battles. But before I do that, I just wanted to go over my Follow the Samurai setup. I do have Blade Master with the Follow the Samurai army, so I have to start using that more often. I forgot that I had it, so I wasn't using it that much. Gives my Shogun 25 attack. These Katana Kachi also get 25 attack. These guys haven't vetted up that much. They're going to get 2 melee attack when the time is right. I can't believe I got this unit up to vet 6 faster than this unit. And what's funny is that it's even closer now. Still, the closest units to vet 9 are these two. The blue G's are closer. I'm going to use a samurai army for my next battle. I'm not going to use that. Plus 5 speed for all cavalry. That could be useful. I'm going to use it because I don't use it that much. Yamabushi guide I already have. I could use military storehouse, but units already have to have good fatigue debuffs. Yari Master, obviously. Yegu Sword Instructor, not today. Unbalanced Spears, always useful. I could use Training Post, but I won't. I might use Bow Ashigaru though. Anyway, for my clan, I've been able to get 8 territories. I'm still working on these territories so I can consolidate our area. I'm not going to push into other territories just yet. We still have 5 days. And so once we get back into tier 1, I don't know. Like, I'm going to probably join another clan. Because tier 1 is where all the good clans are. But the dying clans are always going to be here anyway. The Napoleon Total War clan is pretty popular right now. But this clan right here, Total War Shogun 2, has been in tier 1 for the longest time. They have like a bunch of members. They have more members than we do, if I'm correct. This guy has never prestige with this avatar. Only has 34 achievements. He's won like 283 ranked battles, lost 73. That's pretty good. He has a total of 833, probably with another avatar. He's won 10 siege battles as the attacker. I haven't, so that's pretty daunting. Anyway, my veterans are ready. I'm ready, so we're gonna try to get a battle going. I might just do one. There's no real need to do multiple battles. But I did forget that Matchlocks do -1 morale. Do -1 morale to units. That's extremely important in rush builds. And it's also very important in prolonged fights. You never want your units to do friendly fire because it will actually hurt you a lot more than it will hurt them. I think I fought this guy before. It's a siege battle. I'm defending. I'm going to stick with what I said before. Trading posts. I don't think I'll need trading posts. World Weary. We'll use World Weary. Renyo's teachings, that's, I don't know. I don't think Renyo's teachings would help in this scenario. It could. Definitely could. But the problem with Renyo's teachings is that he's gonna have more missiles than I will. I'm gonna use Untrained Fugu Chef. And now for the other two. Yamabushi Guide can stay. Let's use Trading Post, because I don't have any units yet, and he wants to start. I'm not going to use any veteran Katana Samurai. Alright. That's going to give any Shogatai or Katana Kachi veterans that he has -3 melee attack. which will definitely help my cause. The only problem I have with this battle is if he has Kisho Ninja. Kisho Ninja always are going to be dangerous because you don't know where they're going to be. If he has Shinobi Informer, he's probably going to plan accordingly. I don't use Shinobi Informer. I don't use Mitsuki Inspector that much. I will use it every now and then. I fought this guy before though, and I lost pretty badly to him. He's using Shinobi Informer again. He's using Minomi Spy, obviously. It's a big castle. And he's also using Cold Snap. All of those, well, the Cold Snap affects me the worst. But yeah, I could have used Ashigaru, but I don't know what he's bringing. He wants to start. Oh boy.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord!
Ooh, that was nasty. That was a nasty shot. Just as I was trying to get them out of the way, he pulls that one. He was trying to go for my general, but I ended up getting this unit pretty good. It's one of those cases where shrapnel shot is actually good. Can I do anything with this unit of cav? No, I can't. If I move it... What a shame. I was really hoping that these guys would be good, but... oh well.
Hidden units, my lord! Treacherously meant to ambush us!
What a shame. Not even a single kill. That's a shame. These guys only got 5 kills and they've already been taken down 2.
Hidden units, my lord! Treacherously meant to ambush us!
"83 kills. Get out of here." How is one unit of Kisho
Our tower
Ninja
has fallen to their fire!
tackling both units? Like, they should have won already. Man, that was a bad engagement.
Our entire unit has perished, my lord! Our entire unit has perished, my lord! One of our units has used all its ammunition, my lord. Our entire unit has perished, my lord!
Jesus. Our entire unit has perished, my lord! Our entire unit has perished, my lord!
Our entire unit has perished, my lord! Our men are running from the battlefield! A shameful display! Our men are running from the battlefield! A shameful display! Our entire unit has perished, my lord!
Wow, he threw a spear at him.
Our general has been injured, my lord. He lives, but must leave the battle.
I'm in need of about 2 more minutes. Could have went a lot better for me, but I wasn't attacking, so I didn't really care about defending some points. I wish I was attacking, because I need those attacking wins. Alright, a land battle. Let's use a samurai army in this one. I'm gonna use unbalanced spears. This. Not untrained food cook, unbalanced spears. And not trading post. The military storehouse. To get the most out of. Yeah. It's a good setup. Hello. Quite a spicy meal. 1, 2. 1. No. 2. 1. Because I want a strong cavalry component. Let me get the Yari Samurai first. 1, 2. 2. Then another one. That's good. 2 Katana Samurai, 2 Yari Samurai, 1 Naginata Samurai. This should go well. The main point of this build is to defeat spears as quickly as possible, allowing my cavalry to excel against his other infantry, which are probably going to be swords or bows. I'm still working towards the Tetsubishi Caltrops retainer, because that's a good retainer to have. It's very invaluable against like mass cavalry armies. Good for both Samurai, Matchlock Samurai, and Yari Samurai. And the best part about it is that your opponent won't know that you have it. Unless, of course, they see it on your Yari Samurai. But they can just immediately assume that, you know, unless it's a vanilla one that basically you just vetted it. If it's a veteran, then you could just say that it's vetted, but they won't know. Unless, of course, they're good at telling. This dojo is very important, so I'm going to go for that one. One vanilla, one near 9 vet. Alright, he's ready, I'm ready, so let's do this. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I'm lagging a bit, but I should be fine. A very nice setup. 3 Yari Ashigaru, 3 Yari Samurai, 3 Katana Samurai. Doing a triplex ACs, which is nice. He has no wait, does he? No, he has no skirmishing units. He brought no cav. 333. That's pretty interesting. He should have cav though. If he brought Yari Ashigaru, because I brought a veteran Katana Samurai and it costs almost the same as these guys. And he left. So it's a win. I get my win. That's fine. I'm going to try to get one more battle. I'm pretty close to leveling up, so that's good. I'm going to change my army up for the next battle. I have to bring a Ashigaru to this battle. But then again, it's if I bring that. Where's Relentless? Here you are. Yeah, that could work. I'm not bringing any bow units. This is very dangerous though, because if he has more melee units than more missile infantry than I have in my own infantry, then it's going to definitely backfire. But I'm bringing Marathon Monks, not because they have 30 less men, but because they have second wind. And on a map like this, Lowlands, it will definitely be useful. Now, when he sees my army, he's probably going to think that it's an easy win for him. And it could be. But we'll find out sooner or later. I have no sword units, so if he has sword units, I'm in a big pickle. He won't have Shogatai, that's for sure. Katana Kachi, yeah, maybe. He'll definitely have Yarikachi. He should by this point. This is the most important, so I'm gonna aim for that. Let's get this party started. On my secondary account, I might just focus on fatigue resistance. I'm still trying to figure out new offensive playstyles and a lot of stuff. He brought 5 white tigers, and of course his general. Gun general. That's nice. He has a unit of Yariki. Interesting. Not a bad choice though. I mean, they have 10 attack and 4 defense, so that's good. If he's trying to decap that, then he's gonna run into some problems.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord!
Yeah, I should get rid of them. They're still fresh, which is good. Relentless boosts them the most, which I love. Like, they're moving faster than warrior monks, which is cool. They're both still fresh because of this. It boosts your fatigue resistance by 35%, so in total, right now it's 55% for my entire army, which is actually going to help me win. I have no bow units, so I have to be smart with this. Oh, there you go. Let me just get you in the rear. Because if I don't, you'll end up winning that fight. Still fresh. I don't have to use war power, which is good. Still fresh, which is beautiful. I might invest into fatigue resistance a lot more in the future. The fact that they're still fresh when I would have been wounded is amazing.
Our men are running from
They
the
routed.
battlefield.
Oh well.
Shameful display. My lord,
Still,
a glorious victory will soon be yours.
like, not a single unit is winded. That's amazing. I'm gonna nickname that something different. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna update this video. I'm gonna upload this video, and then I'm gonna put the description with what I said today earlier in the stream. Hopefully, if you guys are watching this as a YouTube video, that you learned something from it. If you didn't, then hopefully next time I stream, I can teach you guys something else about my knowledge of Shogun 2 and what has been working for me and what hasn't been working for me. So with that, I think I'm going to end this stream here. Yep. Good experience. Yep. Thanks guys so much for watching. I also have fatigue resistance on this unit, I forgot. So anyway guys, if you like this stream and you want to see more of it, or more videos like this, you know where to find me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow and Thursday, hopefully. Bye guys.